the Lord gives the example of Abraham and David here, of their plural marriages, and in the revelation is that they were sanctioned by revelation through prophetic authority. And without such direct authorization, the practice is forbidden, and monogamy is the standard. So those things, they're not contradictory, but the law of obedience takes precedent over what is canonized up in Scripture normally. So if you receive it, you receive a commandment from the living priesthood, you follow that above all else. Otherwise, you follow what has been revealed and canonized generally. Okay? And not to mention, this is a completely different culture, a different age. Polygamy in some sense probably was seen as a net benefit to women who otherwise wouldn't have certain opportunities. Like it was probably seen back then as a form of economic welfare and distribution of wealth and a way of building righteous kingdoms by connecting these patriarchs with other families and other clans of the regions, right? There was probably a lot of like temporal kingdom like reasons and cultural like historical basis for this practice beyond just the spiritual element of itself. But clearly what's happening is there's a need for certain righteous individuals to build a righteous kingdom, to have righteous posterity, Abraham and David, and clearly that's not done by their choice, but God's servant, the prophets, getting into the mix and ensuring that this happens in a way that is righteous and is ethical and fulfills the purposes in a spiritual manner. And then the Revelation says, and we've already touched on this, but it says that Abraham and Isaac and Jacob that practiced polygamy, they did none other thing than that which they were commanded. The only reason they did it was because a prophet of God came to them, and like a priesthood authority, whether that's God himself, an angel, or a living priesthood authority, came to them and commanded them to do such. And so they took that burden upon themselves to accomplish the purposes that priesthood authority had in mind. And because they did it by obedience to a priesthood command, then it was accounted unto them for righteousness. For that reason alone.
Yeah, if you want to throw that slide up on the screen, because I don't think people saw that when you were quoting that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the underlined part, and it was accounted unto him for righteousness, right? Meaning he did this in the proper way by the proper authority. Abraham, clearly, the three major religions of the world, or three of the major religions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, would all admit Abraham was righteous, right? He was extremely righteous and faithful, that even for him, he did not do anything wrong, nor was he inappropriate in the administration.
What this reveals is it wasn't Abraham or Sarah's idea. Like that's the narrative we have in the Bible, but it's actually not translated correctly. It's not a correct narrative. Mm-hmm. It wasn't their idea to begin with. They were doing it by revelation, by commandment, or to fulfill purposes and promises that God had for them.
And it was perpetuated. Isaac and Jacob, same thing. They did not, because this law was given to Abraham, it did not give Isaac and Jacob the latitude to enter into and to fulfill this law however they saw fit.
Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.